Hi there folks, and welcome back to Airgun Reporter. My name is Paul Capello. For today's episode, we're going to check out the CO2 replica of the STI International Firearms Duty One. This is manufactured by a company called ASG Action Sport Games. First, let's go over some specs and then see how it performs. The overall length of the pistol is 8 5/8 of an inch from the muzzle to the tip of the beaver tail and weighs in at 1 pound 13 ounces. The STI Duty One is made from a combination of metal and nylon polymer parts. Metal parts include the flat top slide, trigger, mag release button, the commander style hammer, slide lockup, and the safety lever. The frame and grips are plastic but seem rugged and well molded. The accessory rail on the dust cover is part of the frame, so this is plastic as well. The 4.5-inch smoothbore barrel is recessed inside of a metal shroud, giving it a larger caliber appearance. The guide rod is also metal, and it looks pretty cool when the slide locks up after your last shot. There's a plastic insert on the tip of the muzzle that's removable. Threads inside can accept either an optional barrel extension or a fake silencer. The grip safety is non-functional and serves as the cover for the CO2 chamber and the piercing key inside. The dropout magazine is metal, has a spring-loaded follower, and holds 20 rounds. The front and rear sights are plastic and adjustable for windage only. The front blade dovetails into the slide with a tight friction fit, so it's adjustable without a tool. The rear sight is similar to STI's ramped design and is adjustable using an included hex wrench. There's one last detail I have to mention here, and that's the fact that there isn't a lot of screen printed text on the pistol, and I think this gives it a more realistic look. Let's go check out the STI website. Alright, here we are. We'll go under Firearms and 1911 pistols, and here we go. Well, it looks like our CO2 replica is just about a dead ringer for the actual firearm, with the exception of the skeletonized trigger. We have that commander style hammer, the cocking serrations in the rear and on the front, the tactical rail, the checkering on the front strap here, the STI branding, and that ramped design on the rear sight is kind of similar to ours. Looks like it's available in 45 ACP, 40 Smith & Wesson, and 9mm Parabellum. Okay, let's get back to ours. The advertised velocity of the Duty One is 383 feet per second, which is a curious number from a marketing standpoint. Could it be that ASG tested the gun under real-world conditions and simply decided, hey, this is the data we got, let's print it on the box? We all know that airgun velocities are often inflated to make a product more appealing, so it's kind of cool to see an odd number like that, and even better when we can achieve it at home. For my chrony testing, I used Daisy Premium Grade BBs and sorted them on my scale into a 5.2 grain pile. I put a new CO2 cartridge in the pistol and let it rest in the shade for about an hour. The ambient temperature hovered around 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and in my 10-shot test, I got a low velocity number of 358 feet per second, a high of 389, an average of 375, an extreme spread of 31 feet per second, and a standard deviation of 10.86 FPS. Considering the powerful blowback action the Duty One delivers, a deviation of 11 feet per second is pretty darn good. Had I let the gun rest between chrony shots, I'm sure the spread would have been lower, but that just isn't the way we shoot our pistols. For the accuracy testing, I used the Daisy BBs once again. Blowback action pistols require a more solid firearm-like handhold to shoot with precision. Therefore, I had to take about 40 practice shots to get a feel for its behavior. The first several rounds will deliver the most powerful kicks and a good blast of CO2 from the muzzle, and might send your BBs off your intended aim point. The Duty One seemed to settle down after about 4 shots, so I let off a few rounds before attempting this group, which was under 2 inches at 25 feet from the bench. In this next group at the same distance, I got 70 shots from a single cartridge before the slide ceased to blow back, and I had to manually cock it for the last few rounds. The trigger pull on the Duty One turned out to be heavier than I would have liked. In my test, I got an average of 7 pounds 6 ounces. For a BB action pistol, around 4 pounds is closer to what I've come to expect. Blowback action pistols have slightly more mechanical noise than others. You also have to factor in the position of the sound pressure meter relative to the gun. In my test with the gun about 3 feet from the muzzle, I reached 99.6 decibels, which I still consider backyard friendly. I was impressed with the powerful blowback kick of the STI Duty One. And the accuracy at 25 feet at the bench, in my opinion, was excellent. This is a great gun for backyard plinking and for target practice as well. I do have several gripes, the first of which is that 7 pound 6 ounce trigger pull. That should be a couple of pounds lighter. Also, the paint finish on the metal parts I feel can be more durable. After some moderately heavy use, I did see some scratches, but then again, this can happen on even more expensive action pistols. Are there better values out there for a 1911 replica? Yeah, there are. But you have to remember something. When you make the decision to buy an air gun or an action pistol, it's as much an emotional one as it is financial. And if you're a fan of STI International Firearms and the Duty One and you want a CO2 replica, this one from ASG is the only game in town. For Airgun Reporter, my name is Paul Capello. Until next time, shoot safe and have fun. Please remember, folks, air guns are not toys. Even the smallest calibers can cause serious harm if not used properly. And you should never, under any circumstance, point an air gun at another person. Parents, if you teach your children to shoot responsibly, they will have a lifetime of air gun enjoyment.